Hello and welcome to the Serpent Method Manifestation Podcast. Today I'm going to give you a money spell. I'm going to show you how to do a money spell using the Serpent Method to teach you how to craft your own spells, but also it's a really potent, kick-ass spell, so definitely one that you can use. We'll go over really quickly again why we're crafting these spells utilizing as much symbolism as possible. And then when I teach you the spell, I will also teach you the symbolism involved to make it a little easier for you to understand kind of how to start crafting your own spells. Because once you figure it out, once you kind of get the formula down, you'll be able to craft a spell for literally anything that you want. And you'll also be able to figure out what works the best at reprogramming your subconscious mind. Okay. So basically, we've done this in previous videos, so I'm going to go over it just very quickly. But why symbolism? Well, it's the language of the subconscious mind. It bypasses the conscious mind because it is the language of the subconscious, right? And the conscious mind is the gatekeeper. So basically, symbolism just goes right around the subconscious and straight into, or right around the conscious and straight into the subconscious, okay? And reprogramming your subconscious mind is how you change your reality. So basically, it is the fastest way to change your reality. More symbolism equals a more powerful spell. All right, we have it down. It's pretty easy. Now, when utilizing items for spell work, a lot of people who have never done spell work before, they'll say, like, I don't understand, why am I using, like, why do I have to use so many herbs? Or why does it have to be like crystals? Or why does it have to be this? Or why does it have to be that? You know, like, why is it like why am I working with things that can be found in the kitchen or whatever? And it's because that using items from nature for your symbolism is extra powerful because you have thousands of years of experience with these symbols in your DNA through your ancestors. Okay, your ancestors have been using eggs to represent fertility for a very, very, very long time. When you think of newer things, when you think of technology and stuff like that, it just doesn't have the egregore. If you know what an egregore is, it doesn't have an egregore to that size that's that powerful. Okay. So, like, green represents abundance and has represented abundance for your ancestors for a very, very long time. It represents lush crops growing. We're going to have food. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that was just a quick recap on why symbolism. Now let's go over an example beginner money spell using the Serpent Method so you can see how the Serpent Method plays out in a spell and how you can utilize it to craft your own spell. And you can do this one here. I'm I'm going to lay it all out for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do and exactly how to do this spell. But it is a kick-ass money spell, okay? We're going to do a $10,000 money spell. A reminder, what do you need for the Serpent Method? You need your intent. You need to incorporate as much symbolism as possible. You need to identify your baseline feeling that you're attempting to achieve via your intent, right? Like, what's the feeling that you are chasing from this desire? You need to identify your blocks and destroy them in the spell. And then you need to shed all that and move on. Okay, and we'll get into it step by step. Here we go. Basically, your intent. This is before you start or you gather materials or anything like that. You need to figure out, what am I doing this spell for? What's the point of the spell? Okay, our intent is going to be, my bank account has $10,000 in it. If that's not applicable to you, if it needs to be more, make it more. But that's what we're going to do. Okay, materials. Now I will get into the explanation of why each material. Okay, when I start sharing my grimoire, all of my spells, when I'm working on it on my website right now, and you'll be able to join a monthly basically and have access to all the spells I'm creating, how to do week-long spells, just how to work with deities, everything. It's just not ready yet. I'm working on it. I'll get it ready. Okay, but for now, I will explain this one specifically to you in detail so that you're kind of picking up how you can do this on your own. Because that's my goal here, is for you to be able to reprogram your subconscious mind as quickly as possible and for you to be able to change your reality as quickly as possible. All right? Because the more of us that do that, a rising tide lifts all ships. The world will be better. Okay? But I will explain each and every piece of this one to you. Like I said on my website, when I start sharing all of the spells and everything, I'm not going to get in depth on everything. You're just going to have to understand the symbolism. But when you start to look into each and every piece, you will start to learn the symbolism on your own. Okay? You're going to start with a green paper and you need to rip all of the edges. So, all four of the edges, instead of it being straight cut four edges, you will rip them along the edge to make it a rough and bumpy edge. Okay? You're going to write your desire in blue ink on it. That's very important. And you're going to have another piece ready for your blocks. This is going to be a blank piece of green paper with the edges ripped off, okay? Now, why green? We already said green represents abundance. Ripped edges, they equal the flow, okay? So you're putting your desire, if you put it on a piece of paper with straight edges all the way around, you're basically boxing it in. You're saying this needs to be done in a very certain way. It's very specific. It's very straight. It's staunch. It's constricted. When you rip the edges before you write anything on there, you're saying this can flow out. Okay? And same thing for the blocks, right? We want the blocks to flow away. Our desire, we want to flow in. You don't want that to be trapped. You don't want either one to be trapped. So you always, if you want something easily and with flow, you're always going to make sure you have those edges ripped, okay? Unless I'm trying to restrain something in my life, I never am writing a petition down on straight edged paper. Okay? And finally, blue, the blue ink represents Jupiter. Another way to add additional symbolism here is you can do this on a Thursday. You can do the spell on a Thursday. You can do the spell for 7 days. There's additional ways to represent the same symbolism here, but we're just going to do, like I said, this is basic and this is beginner, okay? Now, cinnamon incense and cinnamon powder. You are probably not going to have cinnamon incense sitting around. Go buy it. Order it online. It's very easy. You can find shit on Amazon now. Order it through an online metaphysical shop or go and visit a metaphysical shop near you and buy your materials, okay? It's important to put the energy into obtaining materials. And like, they don't have to be expensive, okay? Cinnamon incense is not expensive, but you need cinnamon incense for the spell. And cinnamon powder. This can be from your kitchen. It's not that big of a deal, all right? Or you can go and you can get specific cinnamon powder for your spell working, put it in a fancy jar, add the additional symbolism to it that way. That's really up to you. Okay? Remember, the drama, the theatrics, that speaks directly to your subconscious mind. The more drama, the more theatrics, the better. But you can use what you have. All right? Now, cinnamon represents speed and that fire energy. It represents bringing something, manifesting in something hot and heavy. Okay? We want this to be quick, fast. Some people say, don't work with cinnamon if you're a beginner, blah, blah, blah. It's not that intense. Okay? You can work with cinnamon. It's okay. Now, money anointing oil. Another thing you're going to have to buy if you do not make your own. Not that big of a deal. Okay? Just order some money anointing oil. It does not have to be a certain brand. It does not have to be a certain type of money anointing oil. You just want some money oil to work with. Okay? This is going to be incorporating the water element into your spell. Now, you also need a dark green candle. I personally prefer working with beeswax candles because it has the additional symbolism there of being natural, coming from the earth. And for this one specifically, bees represent abundance and that kind of wealth and growth and stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be beeswax. It can be anything, but it should be dark green because dark green represents longer term, more stable, concrete wealth. Okay, light green is for fast, small amounts of money, quick cash. So we want a dark green candle here. You also want something to carve into it with. Okay, this can be as simple as a needle or a nail, or it can be a full-blown tool that you have specifically to carve your candles with. I have a specific tool, but you can do whatever you need to do when you're starting out, okay? This represents stamping it into your reality, carving your desire into your reality, making it permanent, okay? Another thing you want is music that represents your baseline feeling, okay? And we're going to talk more about the baseline feeling here on in a second. But if you identify your baseline feeling as luxury, you want a playlist that makes you feel luxurious. And you can create this playlist or go find one that represents it, play a record, play a fucking CD if those exist anymore, whatever. But you just need to find music that will play through the duration of your spell work that represents your baseline feeling. If it's security, you need something that makes you feel secure. It could be a medieval playlist on Spotify, something that makes you feel secure. Okay. You will also need white wine or white grape juice. If you're not 21, you're not going to be drinking it. You're giving it as an offering. But if you cannot buy white wine, then utilize white grape juice. This represents abundance. It also has so many years of the Greek reference behind it. This is a strong symbol, so this one's very important. You will also need a cauldron or a burn-safe bowl, okay? Or if you live in an apartment or something where you cannot burn a piece of paper without the fire smoke detectors going off or whatever, you can also use a bowl of water or the cauldron filled with water. It's preferable to burn it, but if you have to, you can use water. Okay, and this represents the womb and the divine feminine. That is why witches use a cauldron. You are inserting your desire, whatever it is, into the womb. Okay. All right, your baseline feeling. This is the feeling that you ultimately want to achieve from your desire. Okay, the feeling that this $10,000 is going to give you. And you want to dig until you get to the bottom layer here. What is it? Is it safety? Is it security? Is it luxury? Like I said, you need to just keep digging until you figure out, why do I want this $10,000? What do I want it to make me feel? This is your baseline feeling. This is very important. Okay, this is incredibly important. You're structuring the entire spell around this baseline feeling. So it's important to identify correctly. So take your time. All right. Now you have all your materials, you have your privacy, you're sitting in front of your altar, you're ready to go. What you're going to do first, before you start to do the actual ritual and the actual spell, is you are going to do your shadow work and your blocks. Okay. So you're going to take that blank piece of paper and you're going to write on it at the very top, I cannot have $10,000 because. And I said that correctly. Cannot. I cannot have $10,000 because ... Now you're going to do a bullet list underneath. Okay. And you're going to start to list the reasons why. You're going to ask yourself that, like, why can't I have $10,000 in my bank account right now? And you're going to write down whatever pops in your head. Okay. Allow it to get deep, allow it to get dirty, nasty even, but get it out. And this is really important. You need to get all of it out, whatever it is, even if it's something that you think does not even make sense. Like, what does that have to do with $10,000? Write it down. Even if it's something that pops in your head, like, because I'm fat. And you're like, wait a second, I don't think I'm fat. And what does that have to do with money anyway? Write it down. It's your subconscious mind telling you where you have blocks, okay? So say, I cannot have $10,000 because ... I am too lazy. I am not worthy of it. My family has never had money. I will just spend it, whatever it is, and keep going, keep going, keep going. It doesn't have to be a full sentence. It can just be short notes or whatever, but get all of the feelings out, front, back, whatever you need to do until they're all out, okay? These are your blocks. These are the things that are holding you back. You need to acknowledge them and then destroy them. That is an integral part of the process here, okay? Now, once you have that, I need you to take a deep breath, just in through the nose, out through the mouth, recenter, reset, okay? And you're ready to get started. So, you're going to take the rest of your materials. You're going to start the music. Take your time because you need to start feeling that baseline feeling. Okay? Remember the baseline feeling that you're seeking, whatever it is, luxury. You want to start to feel luxurious. Start the music. Listen to it. Move your body if you feel called. Close your eyes if you feel called. Let it wash over you. Okay? Light the incense. You can use the incense to draw a circle around you. A lot of people only like to do spell work within a circle of protection. You can do that if you want. I do not, but you can do that if you want. You can wave the incense around you and let it let the smoke flow over you. Just get into that baseline feeling, okay? Embrace that baseline feeling as much as you can and take the time to fully get into it. Allow yourself the time to get into that feeling before you continue the spell. So get into it. Then when you are, you're going to take your green candle and you're going to carve into it your name horizontally, okay? Like the horizon, flat, left to right. You're going to write your first and last name, carve it into the candle, okay? And then directly over top, you're going to carve $10,000 vertically so that it's crossed up and down, okay? Turn the candle sideways, write it the other way, okay? So that they're crossed. They look like a cross. The subconscious reprogramming there is that you are crossed with $10,000. It's afflicting you in your life, basically. The $10,000 has come into your life, okay? It's fine if it's not perfect, because if you have a small candle, for example, and it's very hard to carve into it, and you have to go very small, if you use certain candles too are quite flaky when you carve into them, and if you carve over top, like when you do the cross method and you carve over top, oftentimes it'll get really flaky, especially in the center where you're double carving. That's not the point. The point is to just do the action of carving it in, okay? Don't worry about if it's perfect or not. Next, you're going to take the oil. Make sure it is one, obviously, that is skin safe, blah, 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 common sense, use it. And you're going to dress the candle by rubbing it from the base to the wick. The direction is important. You are bringing this into your life. You are going to rub that oil from the base up and pull it up to the wick. Okay. And while you do this, getting it into that carving, really, getting it in there, you're going to say your desire 3 times while you do that. And make sure to say it in the energy of your baseline feeling. All right. So if luxury is what you're seeking, say it slow, say it luxuriously as you do this. Make the movement luxurious, slow, dramatic, okay? If it's security that you're seeking, do a very secure movement, base to wick. Make sure you say it very securely, like very precise, very matter of fact. I have $10,000 in my bank account. As opposed to the luxurious one that I have $10,000 in my bank account. You can have more flow with it. Whatever your baseline feeling is, represent it in how you're doing every part of the spell. Then you're going to sprinkle it with cinnamon powder. You can go ahead and rub it in there, rub it in the carving. Okay. Now you're going to set the candle up in a holder or on a burn safe candle plate or bowl. Make sure it's fire safe. Obviously, when I say to do any sort of firework, using any sort of candle, whatever, always make sure to do proper fire safety, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now you're going to take your desire, that piece of paper where you have written your desire, and you're going to set it under the wine or the grape juice. Okay. Make sure you keep it far from the candle. Alcohol is flammable, blah, blah, blah. As you do, state out loud that you are giving this as an offering to your chosen gods, goddesses, ancestors, the universe, whoever it is that you resonate with. And if you resonate with many, you can do whoever feels right for this, for you, whoever pops in your head. Okay. But if you don't work with anybody, you can just say the universe. If you've not worked with your ancestors, but you find that interesting, give it to your ancestors. Okay. This part is for you to choose who you're working with. I do not have this one specifically constructed for a specific deity, specifically ancestors, specifically anything. Okay. So this is an open work with who makes sense to you. You can even do your higher self, whoever you resonate with. Okay. You're going to state out loud that you're giving this as an offering to them. And you're going to thank them, right? So an example would be to say, as you place the desire paper underneath the glass, you can lift the glass up and you can say, to my gods, goddesses, ancestors, and guides, I make this offering of wine in gratitude and thanks that my will be done. Okay? Now, you're going to light the candle and stare into the flame as you repeat your desire again 3 times while looking into the flame. And again, do it in that baseline feeling. Okay? Get as much into that baseline feeling as you can and take your time here. Don't just be like boom, 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 next step. Take your time in between these steps. Okay. After that, you're going to take your blocks paper, the one where you wrote your blocks on it, and you're going to destroy it. You're going to offer it to your gods, ancestors, the universe, whoever you offered the wine to, you are going to offer your blocks paper to as well. Okay. You are going to say, I give these blocks to you. I overcome them. I move on lighter and more free. Every day loving me. So it be. You're going to say that. And you say it again in your baseline feeling. If your baseline feeling was luxury, say that luxuriously. Okay. If your baseline feeling was security, say it securely. Say it in that same way. All right. And then to destroy it, you're going to either burn it using the candle flame in your cauldron safely, or if you don't have the ability to utilize fire to destroy it, then you're going to tear it up and plunge it into a bowl of water or your cauldron of water or whatever. If it's a cauldron, pretend that you are kind of smothering the air out of it, but when you put the lid on it, okay? Basically, you just want to be kind of theatrical and dramatic here, and you're drowning it. You're either burning it to ash or you're drowning it. You're getting rid of it. You're destroying it. Okay? And with that, like I said, be as dramatic as possible. Your subconscious mind loves the theater. It loves the drama. All right? Now, once that's done, take another deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and allow yourself to flow in that baseline feeling again. One more time. Okay? Get into this as much as you can. You want it to feel like a trance. Okay? For as long as you feel necessary. This is the end. This is the candle is burning. The spell is going out into the atmosphere. Okay? Get into the music. This can include, you want to do whatever intuitively feels right here. Okay? And I know a lot of people don't share their spell work online. So beginners, they don't really know what to do, but what you're going to do is whatever just comes to you, what you feel. Okay? If your body wants to start to move your body. Allow yourself to dance or sway, right? It can include chanting. It can include journaling or scripting. Some people just get the urge. They're like, I need to start scripting my new reality. Do it. I need to start journaling out like changes I need to make. Do it. If it's just crying, do it. Whatever it is, allow your body and your mind to do what it needs to do in this space and get into as much of a flow state of that baseline feeling as you can and keep it going for as long as you feel necessary. Okay. And then when you feel it's done, you'll feel, okay, it's done. I'm good. It's done. Just let your candle burn out safely. Obviously, if you need to put it out, you put it out, not by blowing it out, but by utilizing a candlestick, whatever, dip it into the wax and lift the wick back out. Whatever you want to put it out that way, don't blow it out. And relight it when you have the ability to watch it again, obviously. And just as you do, a simple, quick thing that I usually say, you don't have to, but something that I usually say when I have to relight a candle is, as I just say as I light it, as I relight you, continue your work. I say that to the candle. And then after it's burnt out, you just simply dispose of the remnants. Okay? That's it. That's the money spell. That's this money spell specifically. Now, what you're going to do from here is you're going to take that baseline feeling and drop the rest. Forget you did the ritual. Forget about the spell work. Don't think about it. Don't think about the $10,000. Don't be sitting there watching for it, whatever. Your goal now is not the $10,000. Your goal now is to create that baseline feeling as much as possible in your life through action. Okay? The move on, the shed and move on is action. And you will not manifest anything without action. As I have described before, the formula on how to manifest is masculine plus feminine plus action equals new life. Okay? So basically, your will, your desire, the masculine, plus the magic, the ritual, the symbolism, blah, 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 the feminine, plus action, implementing change in your life is what equals new life. Okay? It's how we create a baby. Masculine plus feminine plus action. They need to get together and do an action. That's how we create life. That's how you create here. You need that triangle, those three things. Okay? So now you've done the three things, or you've done the other two things. Now the third thing is action. Okay? And the ritual was putting it all out there. Now you need to do the action to create that friction, to create that life. All right? So focus on creating that baseline feeling in all aspects of your life. If it was luxury, make everything you can in your life feel more luxurious. Make your morning routine feel more luxurious. Make your sleep feel more luxurious. Make your work feel more luxurious. Make your drive to work feel more luxurious. Make your outfit feel more luxurious. Make your food feel more luxurious. You get the point, right? Same thing with security. Start to implement more things that make you feel more secure in your life, in every aspect of your life, in your relationship, in your finances, everything. If security is what you're seeking, start to implement the action, okay? That's what's going to bring this into your life. So you do what you can think of initially to create or amplify that baseline feeling in all areas of your life, right? So if it's luxury, you say, I'm going to buy a silk robe. I'm going to buy myself a silk robe. And I'm going to walk around the house instead of wearing sweatpants. When I walk around the house, I'm going to be wearing this silk robe because that makes me feel luxurious. And you had that little intuition, that little thought, and you follow it and you buy it and blah, blah, blah. That's important. And then what will come of it? What comes of listening to those little intuitive nudges will be big manifestations. Okay, so follow those little intuitive nudges. Follow the little things of like, hey, maybe I should start learning French. That would make me feel luxurious. Well, you didn't just pull that out of your ass. Okay, it's your intuition saying, start learning French. And then starting to learn French leads you to meeting someone that ends up being a high paying client, or ends up helping you, becomes a business partner and helps you start a business, or ends up offering you a job, or whatever it may be, right? That's how it works. It comes in regular means. So it's very important that once you do the action, you follow those little intuitive nudges and you go, okay, I don't know why I got it in my head that I should start this business that I've been wanting to start for the past 3 years, and I should finally take that leap and start the business, but I guess I will. I will do it securely while keeping my other job, but I will start the business finally. And then your manifestations will come through these methods. It's never going to be how you think. The manifestation never comes to you how you think or how you expect. All right. But this is why, again, affirmations alone don't work. You have to put in the action. You have to do the action too. All right. I hope that helps. I'm very excited to hear about your results of the money spell. And I'm very excited to give you more. Okay, so until next time, goodbye.